It's going to be a blockbuster week for tech earnings ahead, with Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, and Apple all set to report. Shares of the iPhone maker essentially flat since last quarter as investors now look for a clearer AI strategy. Our Steve Kovach digs into what's at stake for Apple in today's Tech Check. Happy Friday, Steve.
Yeah, hey there, Carl. So we do have those earnings from Apple coming Thursday, and it could be a catalyst for that second worst performing Mag 7 stock of the year, down nearly 15% year to date. Only Tesla's doing worse. Now, the company has two major headwinds thanks to tariffs and its failure to deliver on artificial intelligence this year, not to mention losing some top AI talent in Mark Zuckerberg's poaching spree this summer. So something I'm going to be paying attention to, though, is the guidance and what that tells us about the next crop of iPhones expected to launch in the last few weeks of that September quarter. The guidance is going to reflect that new launch. So if that number comes in pretty spicy, let's say in the high single-digit percentage of revenue growth, you can look at it as, first, Apple may be increasing iPhone prices, in part to mitigate tariffs, but also because the base model of the iPhone has been the same price since 2019. It could also be a signal that Apple thinks it has a new hit coming with that so-called iPhone Air, that rumored super slim design for the next iPhone, and that tracks with historical bumps in iPhone sales. Forget about Apple Intelligence, which failed to spur that super cycle in iPhone sales the bulls predicted would happen last year. Instead, it's actually fresh designs that get people excited to upgrade. Here's Verizon CEO Hans Vestber talking about just that on Squawk Box earlier this week.
The times when we have growth in people changing the phones are two. It's one, you go from 3G to 4G, 4G to 5G, or hardware redesign.
Now, any wireless CEO will tell you exactly that pattern, and you can see it in 2014 when Apple added bigger screens to the iPhone, or in 2020 when it added 5G alongside another refreshed design. So while Apple works on its mulligan getting Series AI update correct, pay attention to what's happening with iPhone hardware more than anything in the back half of the year, guys.
Steve, you've had provocative views on things like a fully repatriated iPhone supply chain. I wonder if you have as firm a view about whether or not they should buy Perplexity like everybody else on planet Earth.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be one of the topics du jour, I guarantee you, on Thursday. Hopefully some more clarity on that from how Tim Cook and his team are thinking about what do we acquire our way to artificial intelligence, the way we're seeing Mark Zuckerberg do? Do we buy a company like Perplexity? I know our Jim Cramer is really hot on that idea. But if we don't hear anything about that, if it sounds like they're staying the same course, you can also read that as confidence from Cook that he has the team in place now to get AI off the ground on the second try, unlike they did on the first time. We know there have been some executive shakeups and different people in charge of that, including, Carl, the idea that they might partner with OpenAI or Anthropic in order to supplant their own LLMs to power that new version of Siri. So if we don't hear anything about that, or if it seems like they're staying the course, take that as a signal that they're okay not spending gobs of money like their peers are.
They're peers, but they're not. They're not a hyperscaler.
No,
I mean, it's a very different business. So it's one thing to want a Gen AI strategy, but it's another to say they're not spending as much as Google and Amazon. It's a completely different business.
It's a completely different business, Sarah, but you got to keep in mind they tried to build their own LLM at the same level or as you would, I guess, or the same capabilities as what you see from Google and OpenAI and Microsoft. And they really can't do that at the same level without spending enormous amounts of money. So that's kind of what's going on here.
Got it. All right, Steve, thank you.